Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. So I'm gonna start with the usual progress report. Boom, 4.6 billion. So I am thriving money-wise. As you can see, that's episode 9, 4.6 billion. I still got 80 blueprints. I didn't buy any this week. This is all incursion money. And still got the same blueprint value, researched them a little bit, and I only made 16.3 million profit with industry. Uh, so as you can see right now, I'm not building an industrial empire. I'm making incursion money. So aside from that, uh, the YouTube channel, I got 30 subs right now. One of my video, you got 350 people. This is like I didn't expect them to grow like this, but I mean, a lot of people seem to be finding what I say interesting, and also I know last week I was a little bit bummed out, and a lot of people reached to me in game to cheer me up. So thank you, everyone. It was really appreciated, and that was what I needed. So this is really encouraging. Uh, what what happened this week? Okay. Well, the week has been pretty much oriented toward making money for me. There is this big announcement about the mineral that are changing in low sec, high sec. They're gonna use like more the Veldspar. It's gonna be a low high sec only, and so basically they're gonna split the mineral between the region. And I was thinking how this will affect my game if I want to play industry. And I'm the thing is I'm gonna pull out the little graph that I made when I first started because I'm reflecting on how to actually do industry in game. And when I was thinking about an industrial empire, for me it was production. That's what I was aiming for. Uh, the mineral change are going to change basically mining and bulk processing because they're linked. And it's going to impact indirectly industry, but the big change is going to be like for ISEC miner that are mining Veldspar because they're going to the price is going to go up. There's going to be more demand for it. You've seen it already. The price of titanium is going up, and it is affecting the supply chain because the cost to manufacture are going up, but right now it hasn't yet uh, trickled down all the way to the price of the goods. So the margin are kind of lower this week than they were the week before. I think it's going to take like maybe a few weeks for the supply to turn, and then people are going to produce figuring out the new material cost. So price should be going higher. Price of everything. I mean, if you raise the price of titanium, everything goes up. So, but like how is it's not really affecting what I see as industry, and that's well, the other thing that I've been thinking about this week is how effective you are at different job. Okay, because when you're doing industry, okay, how do you add efficiency as a person? Okay, and I've noted, but I've put all the skill there is, and basically there's three ways to be more efficient. Okay, you got the character skills and the time you put in, and mining is all character skill and player time. Okay, you will mine better if you have more mining skill, more astrology, more astrogeology, and ship skill. It's all translate directly into added mineral efficiency. So it's all 100% based on character skill. Reprocessing is based on character skill. You can go from 50 to 70 reprocessing efficiency, so that you can gain like 40% more mineral if you maxed all those reprocessing skill. You can get like a 4% extra for an implant, and the other part is location. If you're using a player-owned station, uh, you can get, and with the right amount of with the right rigs, you will get more efficient. And if you go into null sec, you get 12% bonus and 6% in low sec. So basically, you can go from like 0.70 if you maxed everything to almost, well, not 100%, but like close to no loss if you're doing that in low sec. So the way to be efficient in processing is you got part character skill and part where you're doing the job. And research, if you max research on a blueprint, you will get like 10% material efficiency, so you will get better efficiency. And then there's production. Production is the red hair stepchild of the whole chain, because there's no actual skill that will affect how efficient you are. Uh, you you get more job, you get quicker job, but you don't you don't become more efficient when you skill up. Uh, so the only the only the only thing you can get is if you go into a nullsec with a T2 nullsec player station with a T2 rig, you can get up to 5% bonus in efficiency, but that's it. So it's all where you're building your stuff, but nothing is skilling up. So the concept of being an industrialist, if you're just focusing on production, doesn't mean much. There's little added value for the. I mean, somebody else could take, if he has access to the same blueprint as me, you just buy a blueprint copy, fully researched, and he buys the mineral that are already processed. So he's at the same. I mean, a guy that just started and has one building slot, uh, and a hardcore industrialist that is dedicated his life to it. Uh, aside from the fact that he might have a better location because he's used to it and more knowledge of the market, he doesn't have any advantage compared to everything else. And a big problem with that, well, I think a big part of the problem is it's because it's a passive job. Uh, because it's passive, uh, anybody can can have an alt or two or three or as much as you need, and within a day you can have like 5 production slot, or probably it's pretty easy to get your first production level. And so there's no value to the actual amount of production slot for one single character, because you can just scale horizontally by adding more character. Uh, and for me, that's an issue. Well, that's the weak part of that system, I think, because it doesn't encourage somebody to make this a full-time job. What I would do if I was at the CCP office is I would turn those passive jobs into something more active. Like if you want to run a factory for a day, you would need to like play some kind of mini game, a Factorio type thing or whatever for 10 minutes or something. So the same person couldn't scale horizontally infinitely. And what that would do is it would actually add value to the time that somebody is producing. Uh, as in right now, I mean, this week I haven't been running my factory because I was just trying to get rid of stuck. So there was no no way to add much value because the margin were lower, and so it basically was I was just sitting and stockpiling mineral because there's no added value for the time you spend building. But if I stop thinking of an industrial empire as production and I take it as the old supply chain, then the game begins to change a little bit. So this, yeah, I take it for granted, and I'll just, I mean, it's not my main focus is the whole thing instead of just producing, and that becomes that building an industrial empire with that in mind becomes more interesting, and then I can start looking at these steps, which are probably my next step in this whole thing. Uh, so anyway, I'm a little bit more cheered up because my goal is becoming. I'm regaining my focus to my goal. So why have I not jumped into this right now? Well, because there's a big source of I got a big source of income, and there is no way at my current level that I'm I can make that amount of money doing these activities. Incursion is just too so much money. So how do I plan to go from here? How do I scale up how do I build my industrial empire, which is the goal of the series and well, actually my goal in game. And and again, sometimes you just need to focus. Okay, my goal is to dominate the essence region. Okay, some people mailed me about like say, okay, well you should look into wormhole and low second. I know I've I've looked those up a little bit, and I'm not saying that's not something interesting, but sometimes you got to just make your own fun. And I'll be done when every custom office are here, when I can move the market anywhere here, and I want to build from essence, and I can have Ursalet replace Jita. So, so that's my end game. Uh, it's like okay, it's crazy ambitious, but hey, you got to set your sight high if you want to have fun. So anyway, the way what I've been looking at is if I want to progress, okay, my next step and one I think where there's the most money that I could be making in parallel to actually running my incursion is processing, because I already have like decent processing skill, uh, and if I start, I'm at the point where right now I can process for free, uh, not in a player station but in Ursalet. I can it takes no time, and I got some decent skill. So, and regularly I can buy the raw material for less than the mineral value. So I'm gonna try and push that those processing level, and also the salvaging part to not well the what's it called that skill here, the mineral what where was it, scrap metal processing. I want to crank that skill up eventually, because like I see a lot of time people sell under the material cost. So if I max that, I could actually be making some decent money trying to reprocess stuff that is getting sold at lower than the value. I got also I was thinking of like maybe using my money stockpile, which is, I'm at like 3.2 billion now in cash, to buy like something like an Orca blueprint, uh, and sell the copy on contract. And if you look at the contract there, it's in Orca. You can sell copy for like, well, it's private pro. Okay, that's a player-owned station, but okay, let's say, well, mine wouldn't be research, so max 10 million, and it costs 1 billion. So you need to sell like 100 copies, and need to make the trip to Jeddah. So that wasn't. I mean, I'm not doing like all the jump to Jeddah. Well, I can do it once a week, so that could be a sideline that would be interesting, like buying an Orca blueprint. But my real goal would be, if I want to make, if I say, okay, get this at a real efficient level and then get a player station to do this. So I would need basically 2 stations. So what I would want is to get a Tatara with the rigs to get the bonus for reprocessing, and set that up somewhere here, because this, I've looked, and they connect all the way to nullsec. And after that, I would add an Hasbell in the same system, so I would have one Tatara and one Hasbell. Same here. So I could be building capital that could run all the way, that could follow the long path all the way to nullsec. So I could be supplying ship to nullsec. Okay, that again, I have no idea what I would need. I probably need to. I would need a corp. I won't be able to do that alone if I'm in low sec, because I'm gonna have to fight to protect that base, because I'm not. I don't think that people will let me do that easily. So I would need to have people that have some balls to go and live in low sec. Personally, I'm not afraid. Worst thing I can do is they can blow up my virtual spaceship. So it's just a virtual spaceship. So they need you need to play with them to have fun, and you don't have fun if you don't risk. So anyway, so I kind of have a goal right now. It's to get there, okay? But that's like long term. Maybe by this summer, if everything goes according to plan. So the first step. Well, I'm gonna continue running incursion because this will cost a lot of cash. Even if I buy the Tataru, here, okay, the blueprint for a Tataru is 40 billion. And if I and plus you need the blueprint for all the component, and you need moon material, and it's complicated. And if I buy the Tataru, well, I can get one for like 7 bill. I mean, 7 bill I can get in 3 weeks. The goal would probably be to actually buy the blueprint and eventually get there, or to build it myself. So I mean, at that point I need to actually start doing the math, because you get the structure component, like I say, okay, because that's just one example of stuff you need to build the Tataru. And then you need to start. You need to have PI material. You need to have so you're getting into the real complex stuff. Or I could get into somebody else's corp that has done everything else, but that's not my style. I like to do stuff for me. I don't want to inherit what somebody else has built. I want to build it myself. So get get my people. So eventually I think I'll need to start a corp and recruit people. So I might need to do a little stage in somebody else's corp to actually learn how this work. Anyway, that's just all over the place today because I'm seeing a path forward. Uh, Another thing I would like to eventually do is start learning to PvP and stuff. I mean, I've been looking at like Rooks and Kings video and stuff like that, and they're like pretty awesome. So that's obviously one of the things I would like to try in the game also. But I mean, you can't do well. You can do everything, but these little skilly thing you need to go forward. So anyway, uh, so that's it. So the plan is finish the two T2 guns to stop leeching and be a little more efficient in the incursion, because that's my main source of income, and it's probably going to be my main source of income for at least 2 months. The way if the way I'm seeing it, I'm not going to stop doing incursion to focus essentially on industry because it's just not enough money. After that, so I'm gonna train at least those two skills just to get, and then I'm gonna start putting more into getting my refining up and my well, all my industry. I'm gonna get my T2 gun and then switch a little bit on those like start improving, really start building the industrial side of my character. So that's the plan so far. So that's about it for this week. Don't have much else to tell you. Hopefully I'll get some more blueprints by next week. Hopefully this improve a little bit. The thing is, since I got a lot of cash, I'm not wasting time mining myself. Just go and buy. I find the cheapest mineral I can find. In essence, I buy them and I can shovel them back to Salouette and refine them. Usually, I had value doing that because my skill are like my reprocessing skill are getting to an interesting level. I got 5 in reprocessing. Where is it? I got 5 in reprocessing. I got 4 in reprocessing efficiency, and then I got like the individual skill at 2. So I can easily put some point in there after that. I still got some unallocated skill point, which I will dump on that time. I think I've started at a time where I started just before Christmas. I got a lot of skill point bonus there, so this is going up. Also, my Omega is about to expire, so I'm probably just gonna buy the Omega. I'm on the fence on getting the second package, the silver package, because there's some skills and some skill points and some plex and some skill for $22 instead of the usual 15. Like I say, it's not really the money. I mean, $7 is not that much for me. It's just the fact that I don't like to be paying for power in game because I think the point is getting there. It's not. It's like I said. The point is the whole point of playing is the journey. It's not the end game. So it's not. There's no point in paying for something that's already maxed out, because my fun I get is from building and from making my character bigger, better, stronger. So I like to play to gain the power, to gain the power myself, not to buy the power and say, yay, here's $100 I won. That's just not fun. So and not fun for me. Not even I don't. I mean, it's not even caring about the other guy or wanting it to be fair. It's just where's your sense of accomplishment where when you just dump the money. So anyways, I'm probably just gonna renew my Omega without buying anything, and so that's about it. So anyway, uh, if you're if you liked what I where this is going, if you have some suggestion, feel free to contact me in game or drop a comment below, drop a like or dislike if you don't like what I'm doing, and see you soon. Bye bye.